Hey, this is Sam Black, just with some final notes on the matches that I played with Abzan Procession and Standard. Got to see some of the things that I can do when it gets going. Saw some of the play that it has against zombies. Had an unfortunate last match against Marvel, where I think it would have been really nice to see how that game would have played out if I hadn't made some pretty huge interface mistakes. But happy with the variety of the format that we got to see there. As far as further changes to the deck, I think I wrote about this a little bit, but I'm interested in trying a direction that moves toward more green. I'm curious about using Loam Dryad and Ulvenwald Mysteries and Blister Pod over Sacred Cat. It's obviously not easy to fit all of that stuff in. I'm still thinking about maybe cutting Gideon and Fatal Push. I'm a little concerned about Flyers without Fatal Push, but I feel like it's actually kind of narrow in application in the metagame with Marvel being pretty big, and it can be big in the zombies matchup depending on which things they have, but it's really just about going bigger, and I kind of wonder if it's better to just have more of my own engine stuff faster, just use Loam Dryad to get doing my stuff earlier, and just skip interaction in favor of just trying to go off. I'm a little worried that Ulvenwald Mysteries might not be good enough at doing that without a sack outlet, hidden stockpile specifically, but I'm wondering about maybe trying to get Yeheni, Undying Partisan in to get a little more of that going on. Can free up some spaces by trimming a land or two and adding Loam Dryads and lowering the curve, so some directions to play with there. I'd certainly still want Fatal Push in the sideboard. It's really important to be able to kill at least Heart of Kirin, and I'd probably still want it against zombies since Cryptbreaker and the 3-mana zombies are so important. But yeah, I think this deck is a little bit underpowered now that people know exactly what I'm doing and know things like not to have Liliana's Mastery in against me, where it might look good for trying to go bigger, but it's like not big enough and creates exposure to Dusk to Dawn, and just little things like that now that my list is out. So I think that with a deck like this, it's important to stay flexible, not play the exact known list, have some surprises. I've seen a lot of people talking about things like using Angel of Sanctions, which is interesting, but I'm concerned about raising the curve and about validating opposing removal. As it currently stands, Catacomb Sifter is the only... Well, Catacomb Sifter and sometimes Anointer Priest, especially Anointer Priest tokens, are the best targets for removal, but there's a pretty big gap between those and Angel of Sanctions as far as how much your removal is getting you when you kill something. But it is certainly interesting. Obviously, it does have Embalm, and embalming it is great and particularly absurd with Anointed Procession, but very worried about raising the curve, but it might be something to consider if I go the Loam Dryad path, where I can potentially get to a lot of mana faster. So, I don't know, there are kind of a lot of directions to take with this deck. Still a fun project, and I'm still going to be working on it for Grand Prix Omaha. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed watching and getting a little insight into how this deck looks when it plays. I know some other people have made content on it, but I didn't have any feature matches at the Pro Tour, so I know a lot of people haven't seen it play. So anyway, that's all for now. And bye.